At the start of Next Fest about a week ago, Creeper World IXE got a new bonus mission which is all about the Breederland, so we're hopping back to take a look at that. I wouldn't go so far as Braxis here, calling it an extreme challenge, but it's definitely one that's very easy to fail. There's a new type of sentry called the BOB and Chargeite to power it up, a pair of underground caverns with emitters and also some lava, but these are not the main threat. A large reservoir of water seems clearly designed for us to mix with the lava if we choose. Ultimately though, our main foe is this long stream of Breederland snaking through the subterranean area. Also this larger pool. A phantom emitter also hides out in the depths. The upper right is definitely an area of interest, holding Kirkium, wood, some more upgrade gems, and even an AC emitter. The Breederland forks for more surface area after it emerges from the terrain, and if we allow the creeper to get up that far, we are in big trouble. This path is a priority to allow our digger shortly after we start to get underneath the surface and reach all of that extra Kirkium. There's a slight dip in our reactor allotment to 9 for this mission, and notice no conversion bombs like we had in the last one. There are no new units available here compared to the previous maps. Once again grabbing an energy upgrade with our first gem. Early coil ships are again a must. The first wave of phantoms will come once again just after a minute into the level. Then a bit of waiting for our digger to relocate before we start in on our anti-creeper. Getting these makers in place as soon as possible is crucial to my approach. I've called this breeder push of ore because we essentially want to push the creeper down the Breederland and take as much of that replication for ourselves as possible. When I first tried this mission, I wanted to clear out those 2 caverns with the emitters first, but it became clear that the Breederland is a much larger and more pressing danger. So it's time to paint the land pink. Lots of pink, lots of digging, switch our upgrades away from the energy, and eventually get our ships down underground where they can help fight the Breederland. Our anti-creeper can't keep it at bay by itself. Comparatively speaking, it's not as important for us to get our whole fleet up right away as it is to dig down to where we can fit them and they can help us fight the creeper where it is. And now I think it's about time for us to turn this lake into a waterfall. Turn this lava into stone and then drop it down into the lower chamber. Why we're doing that will probably be easier seeing a bit later. At long last, we'll get the rest of our fleet built, and of course, in this whole digging operation, very important that we don't get too close and accidentally punch into one of those chambers. It may appear that our anti-creeper is holding off the creeper for now, but the creeper has control of a much longer stretch of Breederland, and so it will eventually overwhelm us if we let it. Of course, we're not going to give it that time. As we paint another wide swath of area to give ourselves access to more of that Creeperland River, you notice on the left side the creeper is violently reacting to our waterfall operation, and that's why we put 2 gunships over there to clean up the mess. Now we're starting to break in and be able to attack the creeper sections directly, so why not have frigates lead the way? The anti-creeper is so dense here that even the impact of the phantoms just does not faze us. Next step, we'll eliminate that annoying phantom spawner and be done with that harassment. Our progress is definitely slowing here, and we're starting to get bogged down, even though we've bumped up to the 2nd level of firing rate. The fleet is more than strong enough to push back the time of creeper, but it's going to be slow going. On the left, you can see the lava is now hemming in that Breederland plateau, and the point of that is when we break in there eventually, we're not going to have a bunch of other creeper reinforcing that. That can all flow up to the other cavern. The power of the Breederland can also be seen in the fact that if you watch the missiles, they're actually firing down into that Breederland river. Gradually, though, more and more of it is giving way to our anti-creeper controlling it. The lays have caught up, so it's time to give them some more area to work on. We need to carve a path plenty large enough for our fleet to fit comfortably and eliminate all of the rest of the Breeder River. Meanwhile, the creeper flowing upward into this other cavern means we still have plenty of work to do for our gunships, and I don't want to get them too close and have them overwhelmed while I'm distracted with something else. Probably far enough underground that it's useful to put up a couple portals. This area is pretty much wrapped up. Our anti-creeper is more and more getting the upper hand, and it's time to move the fleet below and finish it off. Got a hair too aggressive there, it seems. Another section here where we're just waiting on digging and more digging for the most part, but if we don't finish off this breeder, it's just going to keep causing us problems. It's worth the wait. As much as we're steadily accelerating pushing it back, there's still twice as much creeper on this map as there is anti-creeper. We still have some work to do. At least the cloud of it emerging out of the Breederland is much smaller than it was. That should just about do it. So what's next? Well, we've got that other batch of Breederland to deal with, and it could be a little stubborn also. Starting with an access point at the bottom, I'm basically just testing the waters here to see how painful the outflow is going to be. Looks like we're doing pretty well up here, so I think we'll just open up a path and let some of the anti-creeper join the fun. This is going well also. Let's add a side door to the operation. Shouldn't be anything that we can't handle. And once our anti-creeper starts getting in there on that breeder, it's going to be over soon. Pathway on the top side's now opening, but I think I want to wait a bit yet before I get too aggressive. Of course, the right side chamber here has just been building up with 3 emitters for the entire several minutes of the mission. Time to attack from below. The emitters now have nothing to do but free fall through the anti-creeper and wait to be nullified. didn't actually plan for a couple of them to hitch a ride on our frigate and wait to be destroyed, but okay, that works. 2 at 1 blow. They got into the Breederland again for a bit, but it looks like it's under control now. Just the 1 chamber remaining, and then we'll be out of here. I think we just open everything up at this point, let the anti-creeper continue doing most of the work, and eventually move our fleet in. Hitting it from both sides, although mostly the bottom, I imagine we'll progress about as fast as we can move the units forward at this point. Creeper is persistent, I'll give it that. It's still trying to flow into that lava area. Not going to work very well. You're not going to make it through. Time for the last round of nullifiers. As we wait for the rest of our objectives to clear, they have announced the demo is going to stay up for a while longer past the next fest, so if you still want to play this mission, it's up there. I don't think any more maps will be added, but then I didn't expect this one to be added either. There's our official victory. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been Creeper World X. Hope to see you soon.